Alright, welcome back to another episode of Sean and Ed's Do Baseball.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Ed's.
And we're bringing you baseball history.
That's right, we're a bi-weekly baseball history podcast where the story catcher doesn't know what the story pitcher is out on the mound throwing them. And Sean, the All-Star break is over. We took a little break there for a week, and we're back. And you're on the mound this time.
Yeah, I'm ready to. I'll say throw a gem. I got some rest, right? So I should be able to go the distance.
All right. Well, yeah, that's not always the case after a prolonged rest, but I have faith in you, my friend. So
yeah, I could just fuck this up and quit after a couple pages. If I do, you can voice your displeasure by leaving us a review or rate us out on the internet at Doing Baseball. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, or Blue Sky, wherever you're looking for us. Find us at Doing Baseball. Also, we're our friends and sponsor at Two Loons Brewing. You can check them out at twoloonsbrewing.com. Grab their IPA, grab their lager, grab their beers. Check them out at beer festivals across the land, the nation, across Ontario, that's for sure. And, of course, as always, right, Eds?
Yep. Please be of legal drinking age. And, of course, enjoy responsibly, everyone.
All right. So it's like post-All-Star break. We're officially in the dog days of summer, let's just say.
Yeah.
And I felt like we needed somebody to bring the energy up in here. So we're going to bring some energy. Edsy, you ready to bring some energy?
I am ready as I'll ever be. I guess so.
Right. Hilda Chester.
Hilda Chester.
Hilda Chester.
Ah, yes. Okay, I'm with you now.
She was born September 1st, 1897 in New York City.
Okay.
So she spends her early years on the east side of Manhattan, but eventually her family would settle in Brooklyn. And thank goodness they did, because Hilda was way too cool to be a Yankees fan, although we will get to that part. When asked in 1945 why she lived in Brooklyn, she quipped, and I quote, "I like the climate."
Okay. I don't know if anyone from Brooklyn has ever said that, but all right. I can understand maybe like someone saying like I enjoy a place where I get all 4 seasons, but I don't know if anyone has ever said that they like the climate of Brooklyn. But anyway, carry on.
I think it's a joke comparing it to Manhattan.
Okay.
Even though they're right next to each other and have the exact same climate.
Right.
So she grew up fairly rough. She was from a poor family at the turn of the 20th century, and she found something that gave her joy from childhood until her death. That, of course, Edsy, was baseball.
Of course.
So she played, right? She's a kid. She was born in the 1890s. She played every opportunity she got, and according to Good Housekeeping, and I quote, "As a young girl, she was willing to sock any boy who wouldn't let her play on the baseball teams."
All right, so she's feisty is what you're telling me.
Oh, you'll see. She's the fucking feistiest lady. So she was a tough kid. Clearly, she's tough, right? Like she loves playing ball. She's living in Brooklyn. Her family's super poor. She got older. She became an outfielder for the New York Bloomer Girls, which was an all-girls baseball team that existed from 1910 to 1935 and would travel up and down the East Coast playing men's teams, Negro League teams, as well as other women teams. But it's like she has what she described was a glass arm affliction that no doctor could cure.
Okay. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I'm sure you'll explain.
Arm. Like, her arm's done. She probably needed Tommy John surgery or something like that, but it was like 1920.
Okay.
So she can't play.
All right.
So she has to move on. And obviously, if Hilda had it her way, she would have been in the major leagues. But even the opportunity with the Bloomer Girls was something very few women got at the time. So instead of becoming a famous ball player, Edsy, Hilda Chester became a famous baseball fan.
Okay, awesome.
As noted, she loved baseball and was in Brooklyn, so Hilda became an obsessive and vivacious Dodgers fan. When Hilda was in her teens, she would hang around the offices of the Brooklyn Chronicle in order to be the first to hear the results of away games, and the sports writers began to get to know her a little bit, and occasionally would give her passes to actually go and see the games.
Okay, nice. That's good for her.
So yeah, she's like very poor. She wouldn't be able to go to the game any other way. And she grows up, though. She gets married. She has a daughter. Her daughter, not outside the point, but her daughter actually plays in the All-American Girls League. We'll talk about that a little at the end. But times were incredibly hard. Hilda's husband died, and her daughter spent at least some of her childhood in the Brooklyn Hebrew Orphan Asylum due to Hilda not making enough money to provide for her.
Okay.
So remember when I said there's some underlying sadness to this story?
Yeah, is that it?
Well, her parents are dead. Her parents die young as well. Like, she really is just, despite everything you're going to hear, like, she is poor, and she does not die rich. Like, it is a rough life, but it's pretty fucking awesome at the same time. So in 1938, Larry McPhail became an executive vice president and general manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers and started their Ladies' Day at the Ball Yard promotion. One afternoon each week, women could file into the bleachers for a dime, which is a little less than like $3 today. So it's, once again, Hilda can go because she can actually afford like $3 to go to a baseball game.
Yeah.
Hilda recalled, and I quote, "The price was right. I used them to the park every Ladies' Day, and I was like any other ordinary fan. Then I started to get bored."
Okay. So she had to come up with some way to entertain herself, I'm assuming.
Well, I guess she had to cheer. She had to get into it, and she's described as a plump, pink-faced woman with a mop of stringy gray hair. She's in her like late 30s at this point. No, maybe early 40s actually. And Hilda was gifted with a strong, deep voice that featured a quintessential New York accent. Pipes from way out in the center field bleachers to yell at the opposing players and cheer on her Brooklyn bums. Her booming, brawny voice going around Ebbets Field, she didn't just yell at the players. Throughout the years, no one could escape her wrath. Hilda yelled at umpires. She yelled at managers. She yelled at other fans. She once yelled at Vin Scully, screaming, "I love you, Vince!" When he didn't look up, she bellowed, "Look at me when I speak to you!"
Honestly, she's reminding me a little bit of my aunt at minor hockey games.
just absolutely just booming.
Yeah.
Every arena.
Oh yeah. You knew when Aunt Julie was at the hockey games. That's for sure. Shout out Aunt Julie.
Here we go. So Hilda is the prototype to every Aunt Julie out there. And the Los Angeles Times labeled Hilda, I quote, "perhaps the greatest heckler of all time," who would scream like a fishmonger at player managers or lead fans in snake races through the aisles.
Okay.
So I said, she's bringing the energy. She got bored. She just decided to have some fun with it and just started screaming at everybody and dancing.
So
because that's what
you kind of hinted to me that this was in the same vein as an older episode of ours, and I assume you're talking about Wild Bill.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Of
this
course.
is
Okay.
This is our second ever fan episode.
All right.
So, Good Housekeeping did an article on Hilda proclaiming her a one-woman hullabaloo. In the article, they described her as being very reserved and quietly intense before the game, with her hands folded on her lap like someone storing up strength for battle. When the game started, she transformed. I quote, her large body visibly swells, her eyes distend, and she begins to bounce. Her rose face turns scarlet, then purple, and her voice emerges in a husky, decibel-shattering roar.
Okay. That's amazingly descriptive. I feel like I know exactly what she looks like.
So she's just fucking losing it, just screaming. And this quote, she's in center field. So she's in center field and she's yelling so loud everyone can hear her. And this quote's definitely from a little bit later, you'll see. But Duke Snider, a Dodgers player, said she'd be in her box by the third base dugout and keep hollering at you until you acknowledged her. So it's like it's almost like that thing they do at Yankee Stadium where they like call out to the outfielders or whatever, and they all have to acknowledge them. But she was like a one woman, just like, "Hey, look at me!"
And then once you looked, you couldn't look away.
One of her marquee lines in that thick Brooklyn accent was to say, "Ain't it trillin'?" After like a good play.
Ain't it trillin'?
I think it's thrillin', but she says trillin'.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying, because I was very confused.
I'm going to do a bad Brooklyn accent at least one more time here.
I'm walking here.
So on top of being noticed during the game, Hilda also made sure she was noticed before the game and after the game by the Dodgers. She posted up near the players' entrance and greeted the players upon their arrival to the park, and then would rush down to get along the runway beneath the stands that led to the Dodgers' locker room after the game, either celebrating or consoling her Dodgers, depending on the result of the game. And this is like a 40-year-old woman.
She's George Costanza-ing kids out of the way, pushing kids out of the way.
So she started to work near the ballpark. She got a job with concessionaire Harry M. Stevens, who hired her to bag peanuts before sporting events. When she wasn't redistributing peanuts, as a true baseball fan and NYC native, Hilda sold hot dogs for Stevens at New York racetracks, a job which she had for decades.
Okay.
So
I'm not
based on
I'm not sure. Is that? I mean, I did the episode, so I should know, but isn't that the guy who invented the hot dog?
I'm pretty sure that is the dude from the hot dog episode. I'm just realizing that now too.
Okay.
It was like 110 episodes ago.
Yeah.
So she's a concession peanut. Like literally, she's still poor. She's definitely poor. She loved having the job though. She was so thankful, and a little bit of that underlying sadness here, because she would say, and I quote, "When you got no mother, you got no father. It's nice to have a boss that treats you nice."
Okay. Nice accent.
Thank you.
But I believe it would be like, when you got no mother and you got no father. Anyway, carry on.
It's nice. I nailed the boss part. Come on. So Hilda and her bark became synonymous with Ebbets Field in the late 1930s. That is until Hilda had a heart attack.
Oh, God.
I don't know. I don't think it happened during a game, but if it had, Hilda would have told that heart attack to fuck off so she could watch Leo DeRocher and his squad get the last out of the game.
Sounds like if it had happened, no one would be surprised if it did happen at the game.
So her doctor orders her to stop yelling at ball players so much.
And stop eating so many peanuts.
That probably didn't help. But literally, a medical professional had to tell a human being to stop yelling at baseball players because it's
bad for your health. Yeah, okay.
So she would get instead she's gonna still go. So she brings a frying pan and an iron ladle to the game.
As you do.
Yeah. And she just is like, I'm just going to beat the shit out of this cast iron and everyone will still hear me. And she also made a sign. By this point, she had a big, like, almost like quilt that was like written in like probably shoe polish or like probably not marker, but it's just a big sign that says Hilda is here. And it would just, she'd drape it.
We know, Hilda. The sign is irrelevant.
We can hear you.
The sign is unnecessary.
She wanted to make sure.
Yeah, okay.
With Hilda and her frying pan not going anywhere, the Dodgers thought it would be an upgrade to at least improve her instrument, and they gifted her with a cowbell, which Hilda gleefully clanged throughout the games for the ever-improving Dodgers. The bell would wear out and have to be replaced regularly.
Because she had a fever.
She had a fucking fever, buddy.
And the only prescription was more cowbell.
It was, her heart medication was giving her a fever, and it was cowbell fever.
Okay.
She began to gain a following, as you can probably guess, and would get jeered herself for staying silent too long. And here we go again, and I quote, "Make with the bell, Hilda! Work, Hilda, work!" Fans would cry at her.
All right. That was a bit better.
Okay. I'm glad. So if you've heard, Edsy, I know you've heard our Van Winkle Mungo episodes, but if anybody else has heard those two episodes, listen to them. And you'd know that the Dodgers were on the up and up. They improved every year from 1939 to 1941, and this was Hilda's time to shine, as the Dodgers gave her more and more reasons to smash her cowbell and lead cheers from the bleachers. But 2/3 of the way through 1941, Helen had another fucking heart attack.
Oh, God. So it wasn't the yelling.
It wasn't. It was probably, might have been the peanuts or the hot dogs.
Yeah.
So she survives because she's Hilda Chester. And she's, once again, she's like, okay, like I'm on the IL, right? And she's at the Brooklyn Jewish Hospital during the middle of the Dodgers pennant run. Like, I think she has a heart attack in August. So this is when they're going. This is their first World Series in a long time, and they're on their way to a pennant victory. And she goes down with another heart attack. And it's almost like the Dodgers were a player short. The Brooklyn Daily Eagle reported, and I quote, "The bleacher fans have taken on a subdued atmosphere since the absence of the bell-ringing Hilda, but she sends them all her best regards and urges them to keep their thumbs up and their chins out, and will clean up the league."
All right, boys. Here's a message from Hilda. Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding, ding. Just Morse code with the bell.
Yeah.
The Brooklyn Eagle ran a picture of her in her hospital bed with a Dodgers emblem pinned to her gown and holding a picture of her favorite Dodgers, Dixie Walker and Pete Reiser. The caption read, and I quote, "Howlin Hilda misses the Dodgers. From a bed in Jewish hospital, Hilda Chester, popular bell-ringing bleacherite, roots for her faithful Dodgers to bring home the bacon."
But she can't have any because it's bad for her heart.
That's correct.
Yeah, all right.
She's off the bacon.
Yeah.
But
Please don't share. Please don't share it with Hilda. Dodgers.
She's in a Jewish hospital. I don't think she was eating lots of bacon.
Right.
But that is the most 1940s caption ever, though.
Yeah.
So Hilda is overjoyed when she is visited in the hospital by none other than Dodgers skipper and legendary shit talker Leo DeRocher. Hilda,
that guy got around.
She did. It sounds like she was a little had a crush on him. Trust me, we'll get to it. But I mean, there wasn't much to report. Anyways, we'll get to it. Hilda was thrilled and literally could not wait to get back to her spot, the bleachers. More Dodgers visited her and sent her flowers, and the Dodgers even stepped in to pay her hospital bill.
Okay.
So,
I was literally about to say, could any of them give her a loan? And obviously, they did.
Yeah, they give her tickets. I'm on a weird, obviously the team benefits from her fandom, but she's super she's a little destitute, and at least they pay for her hospital visit. 2 weeks after her second heart attack, Hilda decided enough was enough, and against doctor's orders, made a triumphant return to Ebbets Field to watch the Dodgers take on their rival New York Giants, because in her words, and I quote, "The boys needed me."
All right, you didn't put much of an accent on that one. I was surprised, but
I'll do this one then. She told the press, and I quote, "I have to be calm, but sure, I'll take my bell along just for luck. And will I ring it when our boys show them Giants how to play ball? Sure, I will just for luck. And oh yes, I guess I'll cheer a little too for Leo and Dixie and the rest of the boys."
All right. Thank you.
So team owner Walter O'Malley had a bouquet of flowers delivered to her at the ballpark as a thank you for her full-throated loyalty. But Hilda didn't just need her voice or a cowbell to affect the game, Eds. On one occasion, sometime in here, Hilda did change the outcome of a game. In the top of the seventh inning, Whitlow Wyatt, the Dodgers starting pitcher, looked to be losing his stuff in Hilda's eyes. From her Sabre bio, and I quote, "The story goes that as center fielder Pete Reiser took his place in the field, Hilda handed him a note and instructed him to deliver it to Leo DeRocher. Upon returning to the bench, Reiser gave it to the manager, and DeRocher assumed the note was from Larry McPhail, the owner and the GM, or the owner. It read, and I quote, "Get reliever Hugh Casey hot. Wyatt's losing it." Upon taking the hill, Wyatt surrendered a hit, and DeRocher promptly replaced him with Casey, who almost lost the game.
All right, sweet. I thought the note was going to say, "Do you like me? Yes or no?"
She's just banging the cowbell.
Yeah.
It continues, and irate DeRocher berated Reiser for handing him the note without explaining that it was from Hilda rather than from McPhail. So, DeRocher got mad at Pete. It's like, what the fuck? It was from the fan? Like, no, don't ever give me that again. Just throw it out. So
we no longer manage games by fan input. We did at one point, but we no longer do that.
No longer. I mean, this might have been before that, actually.
No, I don't think so. Anyway.
Oh, but the Dodgers won the pennant in 1941, but they came up short to the Yankees, as they would do for the next long time. But we'll get to that. And Hilda continued to show her support throughout the 1940s. At this point, having received a lifetime pass to the grandstands by DeRocher, although Hilda preferred sitting out in the bleachers with her entourage of rowdy fans, saying to Good Housekeeping, and I quote, "I can't relax in them fancy seats."
All right. Good for her. She's got humility. She's found her niche in the ballpark.
Well, she's with her people. She ain't rich. Yeah. She can't afford their seats.
She's like, I'm a bleacher creature through and through.
The original bleachy creature.
Yeah.
So she's everywhere. The Sporting News has christened her the undisputed queen of the bleachers, the spirit of Brooklyn, the belle of Ebbets Field, and we do mean belle. The New York Post columnist Jerry Mitchell dubbed her the Scarlett O'Hara of Ebbets Field. And Hilda is synonymous with Ebbets Field, but even started traveling with the team a little bit at this point. She just goes to like Philly and Boston and like wherever is close by for the most part.
Yeah.
She attended spring training, an exhibition. Sorry, not spring training. She attended a spring training exhibition in upstate New York and was put in the same class as famous entertainers, with the Brooklyn Daily Eagle reporting, and I quote, "A sizable delegation of Brooklyn fans were headed by Milton Berle, the comic, and Hilda Chester, the cowbell girl."
Okay.
And once again, she's like coming into like 50. She's like 46, 47 at this point. Not only was she compared to great entertainers, but she got to be a part of, she got a part in a film. In 1943, she portrayed herself in the baseball-themed movie Whistling in Brooklyn, starring Red Skelton. Hilda savored her fame. She wrote New York Times columnist Arthur Daly, both thanking him for his mention of her while also scolding him for calling her a character, quote unquote, and signed the letter as Hilda Chester, the famous one.
All right.
Once again, she is famous. I don't think she's making any money. Well, obviously the movie. She probably made some money for the movie. Well, that probably improved her life slightly, but it's not like she's in movies every day. The Dodgers recognized Hilda's growing celebrity and presented Chester with a silver bracelet featuring her first name on the band and a small silver baseball. Dixie Walker, in a quote, said, and I quote, "She never forgets a birthday. She sends us the nicest cards you ever saw on all important occasions. I think she's wonderful."
Well, that's
this
nice.
lady, she's sending them like birthday and anniversary cards. Like, she's like the president of the Dodgers fan club, who also is just absolutely like a psychotic fan at the field.
I love it. I commend her for it.
So she's huge. She was part of the team, and it meant the world to her, especially after the difficult life she lived. Let's get back to a little bleakness here. In 1943, in the Sporting News, Hilda said, and I quote, I haven't had a happy life. The Dodgers have been the one bright spot. I do not think I would want to go on without them."
Well, that's rather depressing. Did she live to 1957?
Oh, she lives to 1957.
Okay.
It's not good, Ed.
All right.
Despite Hilda's cheerleading, the Dodgers dropped from first place to second, then to third in 1943. Things were not going in the right direction, but players knew Hilda had their back. After the Dodgers dropped their 9th game in a row, Tommy Holmes said to the press, "When nobody else loves the Dodgers, Hilda Chester will."
All right.
So,
which is
she's
probably true.
Yeah, she's a real fan. She goes through the hard times, the good times. And after a disappointing 1943 season, rumor had it that DeRocher's job was in trouble. Hilda had DeRocher's back and had struck up quite a friendship with him, and she defended her friend and idol in the news. Hilda wrote an open letter to the Brooklyn Daily Eagle saying, and I quote, "What's all the noise going on about not re-signing DeRocher? The NL's manager again in 1943. I know, we all know whom we have, but who knows what we will get. For the past 2 seasons, Leo did a wonderful job, and for that reason, must the Dodgers get a new manager? No, she's writing the press.
Yeah.
And they hold on to him. And it's a good thing they do, because the story would be a little boring if they didn't. Leo spoke highly of her, equally. and she adored the Dodgers skipper. DeRocher could not do wrong in Hilda's eyes, who mentioned her on a radio interview, and despite her being not even 50 yet, DeRocher said she was 70 years old.
Oh, God.
But this didn't upset Hilda. She was excited that DeRocher had, and I quote, given her a break on the airwaves. And if DeRocher said that she was 70, then she was 70, and nobody, including her, should dispute it.
All right, that's weird.
We're getting weird now.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, so, yeah, I guess I'm 70. When's your birthday? Shut up. Leo said it.
Yeah.
So her loyalty to Leo, no bounds. In June 1945, Leo DeRocher was arrested for felonious assault. The New York Times reported on June 11th, the manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers baseball team and special patrolmen at Ebbets Field were arrested yesterday on charges of felonious assault brought by a medically discharged soldier who told the police that they had fractured his jaw and inflicted other wounds on him at the field on Saturday night.
So DeRocher beat up a soldier? Is that what you're telling me?
A medically discharged soldier, and it's 1945, Enzi.
Okay. Bad time. Well, I mean, not that there's ever a good time to beat up a medically discharged soldier, but this might be one of the worst times.
Yeah, but I should say allegedly. Allegedly. Because the DeRocher estate may be listening, and we'll get to it. Anyways, right. The man, John Christian, claimed that DeRocher and the special patrolman Joseph Moore had severely beaten him in the areaway leading from the dugout to the clubhouse after he made uncomplimentary remarks about DeRocher during the second inning of a game between the Dodgers and Philadelphia. So remember the way that she could like watch the players go from the dugout to the locker room?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the area where this guy allegedly got the shit beaten out of him by a police officer and by Leo DeRocher.
Jesus Christ. Was Hilda there?
No, Hilda's not there, but, well, she says she was.
Okay.
So, according to Christian, the soldier, Moore went up to his seat. The police officer went up to his seat and requested he come down to the clubhouse. After he's yelling shit at DeRocher, right, and other people apparently, and this police officer's like, "Hey, why don't you come on down to the clubhouse? Nothing bad's going to happen to you.
We'll sort this out in the tunnel. Nothing bad will happen down there."
Leo wants to give you an autograph, right? Like, so after some cajoling, the soldier goes down to the areaway between the dugout and the clubhouse, and he is accosted by DeRocher, who strikes him with an object described as brass knuckles in most stories. So,
all right. So the manager of the Dodgers is just sporting brass knucks around.
Sure.
It is Brooklyn.
Well, yeah. And Hilda immediately comes to Leo's defense, telling the LA Times, and I quote, "Christian had been picking on nearly all the Dodgers players for more than a month. With a voice like a foghorn," which is funny from her.
I know.
He shouldn't be using language which shocked the ladies, she said. So apparently, like, I mean, Hilda's mad because he was using some bad language. But her testimony doesn't just go to the press. Her testimony actually enters the courtroom. Hilda was called witness to the stand, and according to her Sabre bio, promptly perjured herself, claiming that Christian had called her a cocksucker.
Oh my God.
And that Leo was merely defending her honor.
I mean, as her boyfriend should.
Leo is dating a movie star at this time, by the way.
He could have been dating her, too.
That's what she thinks.
I mean, allegedly.
So, I didn't find reporting on her testimony, and I couldn't tell you if it was true or not. Like, I couldn't find anything on. Like, I don't know if this man called her that name, but I do know that Mr. Christian did claim that DeRocher exclaimed during his beating, and I quote, "You've got a mother. How would you like to call her names?" So maybe it was. Maybe DeRocher did beat the shit out of this guy because he called Hilda Chester a cocksucker. I don't know.
Okay, so he's allegedly defending Hilda and mothers everywhere.
Yeah, obviously, like that. It's not like he didn't do it. It's like, no, this guy called me a bad word, so he was defending my honor. Which, like, I'm sure she didn't tell the lawyers ahead of time and just totally freeballed it on the stand, knowing this woman.
I mean, based on what little I know, it seems like that's what she would do.
Oh, 100%. She's like, I'll testify that I saw it and he attacked him. No, he was defending me. He was big and strong and beat him up. But for me, anyways, doesn't matter. This is not a fair trial. This is the goddamn Brooklyn Dodgers, Enzi.
Yeah.
So the verdict comes in on April 26, 1945, which is luckily an off day for the Dodgers. The jury finds DeRocher and his accomplice innocent, and it was probably not the fairest trial. Once again, the judge says to the jury after the verdict, not before, but at least this is after, and I quote, "I am glad for the sake of the Brooklyn baseball team that their manager has been vindicated and that no discredit has been placed on the great American game of baseball."
By the way, I got to get going because I got tickets to tonight's game.
I'm in the box.
Yeah.
So the judges, when the judge is that happy about a judgment, like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, it's a little greasy.
So once again, Hilda's like a part of the team now. She's going on road trips. She tells Good Housekeeping, "I'm traveling right along in the train with the boys. Ain't it trillin'?" So she's just a part of the team, and she's just going. In 1947, though, the Dodgers do something unbelievable, though.
What was it? I know what it was.
No. Well, I mean, kind of. You do know, but you don't. It happens later. But she's charged $24.50 for her tickets, like season tickets. And she's like, what? Like, no, I'm Hilda. Like, you just give me my seat and I go.
Okay, that's
right.
That's not what I expected you to say. Obviously.
Well, she also mentions DeRocher's girlfriend in a weird Sporting News article that's way too short. So that's weird too. She might be a little jelly. And for a year, she becomes a fucking Yankees fan.
Oh, boo.
Yeah. But like, it was just a phase. We like Hilda. Like Hilda.
Okay.
She didn't go running back to the Dodgers right away because her hero DeRocher gets fired. Is that what you thought was?
No, I thought they were gonna get Jackie Robinson, which they are, but
suspect as well. Thank you for calling that out. Oh my God. Yeah. No, I was reading this and I was like, this timing is not well timed for a boycott.
No.
I totally forgot about the angle. I could find no evidence that she was upset about that. But yeah, little sus.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we're not going to say that.
Yeah, so no, I would never, because I couldn't. I literally looked for evidence of that. I could find no evidence of that. But yeah, Jackie Robinson joins the Dodgers that year. The year Hilda Chester decides she's a Yankees fan. But anyways, that she's pissed about tickets and her DeRocher having a girlfriend, and she quits the Yankees. She hates American League Baseball, and she goes and cheers for the Brooklyn's rival, the New York Giants, in 1948, where DeRocher ends up. Hilda explained, and I quote, "Hardly ever get pains now, except for what they've done to my Leo."
Okay.
It's chest pain? But anyways, the Brooklyn Daily Eagle columnist George Curry asked the question, and I quote, "Is Ebbets Field ever going to be again without her cowbell?" Hilda belonged in Brooklyn, and the two parties eventually made up. By 1949, Hilda was back where she belonged, decided to take the Dodgers seats. She was presented with a lifetime pass to the Flatbush end and was in reserve seat near the visitors' deck, hence the Duke Snyder quote, third base. Instead, in center field. So she's like moved up. She felt slighted. She left, and then they like lured her back with like nicer season tickets for free. In August, for the Dodgers award a charm bracelet once again. Nice. They're giving her more jewelry. Mm-hmm. And Hilda was a baseball and pop culture icon in Brooklyn and across the country. Her likeness appeared on radio and TV shows. On April 19th, she was flown to LA to guest star on This Is Your Life, radio tribute to umpire Beans Reardon. Great name. Hilda even inspired a fan, Sadie Sutton, who's beating as a minor character in Natural, Bernard 1952 novel. In 1955, the Dodgers announced their all-time all-star team as determined by fan vote. One non-ball player was voted in, Hilda Chester. A ceremony was held at Ebbets Field on August 14th, 1955, and she got to join all the players on the field. So she's an all-star. She's an all-star. She's a century or a half-century all-star, Edsy.
What a thing to do. Like I don't think that Navbadia is gonna make the Raptors all-century team or whatever you want to call it.
No, I know. I mean, super fans are like she really just became like ingrained with the whole franchise. It couldn't happen today. It couldn't happen today.
Yeah.
And finally, after losing the World Series 5 times to the Yankees in the past 15 seasons, on October 4th, 1955, the Dodgers beat the Yankees and became World Series champions. And of course, Hilda was thrilled. And oddly, I couldn't find anything on that, but she's stoked. Her boys won the World Series after losing it 5 times to the Yankees, of course.
Yeah.
So she continues. She's a minor celebrity still, as you can tell. July 23rd, 1956, she's appearing on an edition of Tonight with normally Steve Allen, but Maury Amsterdam was substituting. On March 7th, 1957, Hilda guested on Mike Wallace's Night Beat interview program. So she's like making the like news rounds and stuff. She's on talk shows and shit back in the 1950s. That's how big of a fan she is. Mm-hmm. So, unfortunately, in March 1957, Hilda, and for that matter, all Brooklyn fans, were not happy as word was out that the team would be relocating to the West Coast. On March 8th, 1957, the Toledo Blade had a headline that read, and I quote, "Hilda claims bums to stay."
All right. She would be an authoritative voice in this matter. That's a sweet name for a newspaper also. I would just
the Toledo Blade.
Yeah.
So she rips apart Los Angeles in the Blade. I think it was. She's distraught. She's like, yeah, she's calling them basically non-major league fans. She says, and I quote, "I saw some games in Los Angeles a few years back. Why, the place was like a morgue. No rooting, no cheering. How are the bums gonna feel at home there?"
I feel the same way about Las Vegas.
Well, the team left despite Hilda's protest, and she's devastated. Like O'Malley, who obviously his Lady Day promotion got this all kicked off. O'Malley is like, she fucking just like would stab him. Like
Yeah.
She hates him. And Philadelphia is the closest National League city to Brooklyn. When the Dodgers played the Phillies in 1958, Hilda was asked if she was going to be attending with some, Brooklyn fans that were going down, and she was like, "I wouldn't be caught dead." She's mad.
Pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 1960, upon the raising of Ebbets Field, Hilda and 500 members of the Dodgers Symphony appeared on Be Our Guest, a short-lived CBS program. Hilda joined Symphony in performing a song to the tune of Give My Regards to Broadway, which included revised lyrics that said, and I quote, "Give our regards to all them bums and tell O'Malley nuts to you." I don't know if I got that tune right.
That's a strange tune, but I like the sentiment.
Yeah, so they're mad. 3 years later, they're still telling O'Malley to go,
Just kick rocks.
So, kick rocks, O'Malley. In 1961, Hilda was honored as America's #1 baseball fan during ceremonies at the opening night of the National Baseball Congress tournament in Wichita, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like she's a super fan without a team. She's still popular, but doesn't cheer for the Dodgers anymore because she's super mad about it. And I didn't know if she, went to the Yankees. She didn't hate she hated AL. Anyway, so her celebrity slowly fades. She just like Ebbets Field, she kind of slowly starts to fade away. Even without the team present, Hilda kept up her fandom to the old Dodgers. In 1969, Dixie Walker was asked about Brooklyn and said he hadn't been back in years. But quote, "But last September I got a birthday card from Hilda Chester. She never misses a one."
So she's keeping up with her old bums.
Her old bums. She loves her old bums. So Hilda was rumored to have retired to Florida, but it was clear that she spent the last decade of her life in her nursing home in Queens. In 1969, Dick Young reported that, and I quote, "The cowbell ringing zany of the old Dodger days is ill at the age of 71. She lived another decade, though. 2 heart attacks, illness at 71, you think you're probably... But no, she's tough. So she lives another decade. People would track her down trying to interview her. And she really was like, "No, I'm not talking about that." She tells writer Neil Offen, and I quote, "The old days with the Brooklyn Dodgers, nah, that's out." She won't talk about it.
Your accent is improving as this episode goes on.
So much better. It's getting so much better. It's over, though, because Hilda Chester dies December 1st, 1978, at the age of 81. Good for her.
Yeah.
Oh, God, she probably did make some money off of this. Who am I kidding? But she's, generally thought to, wasn't a nice nursing home she died in. It wasn't like she was surrounded by family or anything. She had a daughter, but she's an orphan. Her husband died, obviously. Anyways. But her legacy lives on in baseball if you look hard enough. At the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, there's a almost lifestyle fabric mache statue of her with her cowbell sculpted by Kay Ritter. It's displayed with several other ball yard types.
I saw this last year.
Yeah.
I saw this. I'm glad you mentioned it because I was going to bring it up that I wasn't 100% sure if Hilda was among the statues of the super fans, but it seems like it would be a tragedy if she was not. So, anyway.
Yes. So her likeness and character were still used posthumously. She was a character in the first, that's the title, the Joel Siegel, Bob Brush, Martin Charnin Broadway musical about Jackie Robinson. Decades after her death, Howlin Hilda, also known as Howlin Hilda and the Brooklyn Dodgers. Oh, There's another play just called Howlin Hilda. It's a one-person biographical musical set at the start of the Dodgers' 1957 season and was penned by Anne Berlin and Andrew Blecker and played at various venues. So that would be a fucking sweet, like a super fan facing their team leaving, and you wrote a musical about it? Like, that's kind of cool. I kind of want to see that musical.
There's a lot of cowbell in it.
It's just cowbell the whole time. One person on stage singing about their life while banging a cowbell. Yeah. Oh, God. Okay. Well, anyways, I don't know when that play came out, but it's called Howlin Hilda and the Brooklyn Dodgers. In 1996, the Baseball Reliquary was founded, describing itself as a nonprofit educational organization dedicated to fostering an appreciation of American art and culture through the context of baseball history. They should send us some money, Edsy. But the Baseball Reliquary hands out a Hilda Chester Award, which recognizes distinguished services to the game by a baseball fan. And you can check it out. You can go on their website, and they give baseball fans awards every year for being awesome fans. And it's called the Hilda Award, but it's the Hilda Chester Award.
Yeah,
and that's cool. And that's Hilda. That was Howlin Hilda Chester and her cowbell fever.
Well, that was an amazing story. It wasn't as crazy as Wild Bill, but it was it was still certainly, like, what a legacy that she left behind just by being such a dedicated fan. We should all aspire to be as dedicated to our team. Maybe not as dedicated to our manager, but as dedicated to our team as Hilda was to the Dodgers.
Well, and she loved Branch Rickey. Like, she was not one of those fans that loved the players and hated the management. As you can tell, she was very much had an unhinged obsession with DeRocher.
Yes.
But I will also say, for the Wild Bill comparison, a lot less alcohol in this one, but surprisingly more heart attacks.
Yes, that is surprising. Less alcohol, more peanuts.
Oh yeah, so I did mention that's a little bit of a fight. Like her daughter B, the one that was in the orphanage, she appeared in 29 games as a backup third baseman for the South Bend Blue Sox, as well as the Rockford Peaches in 1943 and 1944. So it was a baseball family. Like, you could tell that, like, Hilda at least passed on her love of the game to her daughter, who was pretty good, but Hilda never talked about her because it was the fucking Hilda show.
Yeah.
Well, that's that. So thanks for listening. Give us a review, give us a rating, whatever you can do to help the pod. Share, like, frown. I don't know. What do people do, Edsy? Where can people find us?
Well, people can find us on the internet somewhere at Doing Baseball or at Doing.baseball. And as Sean said, give us a rating or review. Give us a thumbs up or something like that. It helps the algorithm put us in front of more fans, and that would be greatly appreciated by us. And once again, thanks for listening.
All right. Until next time, I'm Sean.
And I'm Eds.
And we were doing baseball.
Okay, bye.
Oh, it's fun! They were having